Hey my dudes, I run a bakery from my apartment. Friday was a bit crazy because, haha, I don't have an oven right now. So I had to start my day doing all the tasks that didn't need an oven. Yesterday I had made some plain hard cracked caramel and that got put in the food processor along with candied fried pumpkin seeds to make a pumpkin seed praline. Then I got all the little molds ready for mazarines, which are like little almond tartlets. All the molds got sprayed with spray fat and then I started rolling out the dough. This gets super floppy when it's warm, so I have to work in small batches. I rolled it out, punched out circles, and took away the excess, then lined the molds. This is so time consuming, but it's one of my favorite things to do. I do love things that are like small and fiddly. I cut the excess dough off and then moved on to the next round of dough. It gets rolled out pretty thinly and you have to use quite a bit of flour so it doesn't stick. I also try to pop them all in the molds before pressing them in because they get warmer the more they stick to the counter. But once they were all in place, I pressed them in and then once again cut off all the excess. Next up was the almond filling, so I cracked and blended my eggs first, then mixed together the butter and sugar and started adding the egg in additions. This always looks so terrible and scrambled, but it comes together when I add the almond flour. There's just too much liquid from the egg for the butter and sugar to like emulsify with it, but it's fine once it bakes. I filled the tarts with the filling and then put them away in the fridge. And next up was mini cakes. I brushed them with pan release as normal and then made the batter. This is my usual cake batter with pumpkin spice flavor this week, so I just added a lot of spices and replaced some of the milk with pumpkin puree. Once all the molds were filled, I cater wrapped them, which basically just means I wrapped the bejesus out of them with plastic wrap. I also cater wrapped the mazarines and we packed up the wagon with everything that needed to be baked off as well as whatever tools we were going to need, and then we hit the road. Our elevator is also broken, so we had to carry the wagon down like so many stairs, but fortunately the restaurant whose oven we're borrowing is just a couple blocks away. It's called Framat, and a huge shout out to those guys. Like, they were so welcoming, so helpful. We would not have been able to do this week without them. Plus their food is great, so go there if you're in town. Anyways, we unpacked and popped all the cakes in and then started to slice apples for the mini tarts. The slices got arranged on top and I sprinkled on some cinnamon sugar. We baked off all the cakes, knocked them out, washed all the molds, immediately rebrushed them, and refilled them. So we baked off pecan bars, their topping needed to be baked, and then the mazarines, and then 2 rounds of cake at the restaurant. But it only took us 2 hours, and oh my god, I had forgotten how amazing a combi oven is. My freaking life dream is to have a Rationale combi and an Aga, but that's like not for production. Anyways, it went so fast and was so efficient, and as soon as everything was cool, we packed the wagon back up, headed back home, climbed all the stairs again, and then I unpacked everything. I took the mazarines out of their molds since it was easier to transport when they were like still in them, and then I knocked out the second round of cake and wrapped all those in plastic so they wouldn't dry out overnight. The last thing I had to do was make 3 rounds of buttermilk, a Swiss meringue buttercream. My mom brought me this buttermilk powder from the States, and it's a pretty fun ingredient to like play around with, but I banged out all the batches of SMBC, and that was that. See you tomorrow. Hey Dua.